Yesterday, I received a fundraising request, which I get minute by minute from the Trump campaign for some reason. I don't know how my name got on the list. To me, it's difficult to contribute in my personal capacity. I don't understand why someone who's worth in excess of $8 billion is asking the American people to donate to the campaign. And of course, I do support the president personally and hope he wins. God forbid if Biden wins and we have his whoever he picks as vice president, who won't be qualified to be vice president for sure. But I got this pitch in the email and I was shocked because what it says is that the president, if you give him a certain amount of money for his campaign, this is the campaign, Ronna McDaniels, not a genius, is the head of that campaign of the RNC. If you give a certain amount, you'll get a free copy of Hannity's new so-called book, Live Free or Die. Of course, I call it Live Free or Lie, given my experience with Hannity, because he's not a very truthful or honest person. I question who wrote the book. I doubt that he wrote it himself. But in any event, just consider the ramifications of that. The Trump campaign is buying umpteen copies of Hannity's book. Hannity obviously has a contract with the publisher where he gets royalties based on sales. So in effect, the president is not just serving as the salesman for Hannity, but he's pumping money into Hannity. Now, Hannity on Fox News does commentary and reports on what the president done. Obviously, he's the president's shill in many ways. Sometimes I agree with him, but he's never had a critical statement. And you got to be critical of people. Everybody's critical. People are critical of me to make people do the right thing, hopefully. But this is exactly what Prime Minister Netanyahu was indicted for in Israel. He's undergoing a criminal proceeding now where he's been accused of engaging in illegal acts. Now, the president should not be, in effect, raising money for Hannity with the appearance to get good coverage. That's what Netanyahu was indicted for, as well as, and as specious as these allegations were, his wife getting a private caterer in the prime minister's house, when in fact the government pays for caterers and the private caterer was paid for with government money. Okay, that's what the law is in Israel. But that being said, it's also extremely unethical for Fox News to allow this, to maintain their journalistic integrity. The president should not be raising money, in effect, for hosts on Fox News that speak favorably about him, and Fox should not allow that. But we know that Fox, in my opinion, is one of the most unethical networks out there, even if you may agree with some of the things they say. And of course, they're going far left these days with the likes of Chris Wallace, Juan Williams, Arthel Neville, a lot of other Trump-hating people over there that are trying to take the president down. Even the president has been more than critical about Fox on a number of occasions and has actually told viewers to stop watching. Obviously, he doesn't want them to stop watching Hannity. And Tucker Carlson has been critical of the president, as I have been, for not taking stronger action with regard to the domestic terrorists. So criticism can be good. But anyway, I raise this because the president needs to be very, very careful. I'm talking in my personal capacity. His campaign is not doing well. It's in disarray. I don't care what anybody says. He's got a message that conflicts with another message each day with regard to COVID-19. He's allowing people to go out there, Fauci's assistant and Fauci himself, telling the entire country that we're all going to be infected with the virus, when with regard to most people, it's just simply a passing virus, not fatal. And the country is continuing to be harmed as the economy is being taken down and as people react to it. And this is why, if the election were held today without any debates, Biden, as brain dead as he is, as criminally minded as he is, and I ask why the Attorney General of the United States has not indicted Biden and his son Hunter for the shakedown for millions, if not billions of dollars through this company Burisma in the Ukraine. Of course, the Attorney General is looking out for himself. He doesn't want any blowback. He hasn't indicted anybody of worth and will not up to the election. But to do petty little stuff like this with Hannity, the left is going to have a field day. So that's my message today. And it's why in my new book, It Takes a Revolution, forget the scandal industry, I'm saying turn off cable news. Turn off cable news. Because we don't need to be diverted. We need to take our own country back. Freedom Watch has lawsuits against the communist Chinese for the damage done to our country. What has the government done other than shut down one consulate in Houston, Texas? Freedom Watch has cases to protect the police, to allow them to do their job. What has the government done except allegedly send federal agents to cities where they already had federal agents? That was a complete ruse. And all they do is barricade themselves in federal buildings so there's not more damage that's being taken. All these terrorists should be locked up and arrested and put where the sun don't shine. Let them have their trial, but get them convicted to stop this counter-revolution against the United States. And of course, we have our other cases with social media for Laura Loomer and for Freedom Watch. Go to freedomwatchusa.org, sign up for our class action, see if you qualify. Look at what else we're doing. Support us with tax-deductible contributions. We are your Justice Department. Forget about Hannity. Forget about Fox News. Get up off the couch, do what needs to be done, and go out. And I actually wrote my own book. I doubt that Hannity wrote his book. It was probably ghostwritten. And purchase a copy. You can buy an advanced copy at barnesandnoble.com, at amazon.com, other major booksellers of It Takes a Revolution. Forget the scandal industry. You're not going to read anything like this. I'm not playing the game. I'm not part of the crowd. I'm saying we need to rise up peacefully, legally, and do it for ourselves. We need to do it now because our country is slipping away, and all will be lost unless the American people rise up as we did in 1776 and enforce the rule of law and the Constitution ourselves. That's the nature of the game. Don't look to others to do it. Don't look to Bill Barr, Attorney General. Don't look to others in the administration. They're not going to do it. It hasn't been done. It won't be done. Forget about Bull Durham or whatever his name is up there in Connecticut. He ain't going to indict anybody up to the election. That's not going to happen. I'll bet the ranch. Support Freedom Watch. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Share this podcast far and wide. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, on radioamerica.com, on Spotify, on Roku, on the new equivalent to Twitter. I call it Parler because it means speak in French, but others call it Parler, Parler. Facebook, all over. Share it far and wide. Get the clarion call out. You are the Paul Revere. You are the Justice League. We the people must take our country back, not the clowns in Congress, not the corrupt deep state in the executive branch, not the corrupt judges on the federal bench. We need to do it ourselves. And that book, Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, tells you how we can rise up and do it ourselves. Because as Benjamin Franklin said, one of our great founding fathers, unless we all hang together, we will hang separately. God bless you. God bless America. Stay safe. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast, and listen to my radio show each weekend on radioamerica.com, who allows me to tell the truth as I see it. Thank you for listening to me.